graduated with Lisa,
Lisa
and ran track with her.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Lisa was an inspiration to all back then. She was coaching long before she was a coach.
It's
and
so
there's
true.
Jacqueline
She coached
Schultz
us. It was so much fun.
her relay leg person is here.
Yep.
And you know, she when they say that she watched out for everybody, the underdog, she did.
Yes, she did.
And she inspired.
Yeah, and she was fun too.
Lisa's a great friend. I've known her since we were freshmen in college, and I've known her all the years that she lived out in California. I lived in San Francisco with my wife, and Lisa was with Cecil down in LA. And we saw each other for many years, and she's just a special, special person with an incredible soul.
I was a coach alongside her, and she was always someone that I would look forward to and up to as a coach. She always had this just innate ability to bring athletes in and coach them and connect with them, and she continues to be an inspiration for me.
Yeah, Coach Cox was just as a person and a coach. She was as a coach. She was like people have said, tough love. She always wanted the best out of you, and she knew when to push you to be the very best version of yourself. And as a person, she was extremely kind, and one of the kindest people I've known. And it's never gonna be the same without her. This program will never be the same. But we, you know, I know as an athlete, even after, she passed, you know, I thought about her every time I stepped on the track, and I just, you know, I want to carry the commitment she brought. I want to carry that forward, and I know that all the athletes here now will continue to carry that forward too.
First of all, thank you all for being here. This is a great tribute to Lisa. We are really here to honor Lisa for all she's done for Lexington. My name is Emmett O'Brien, and I had the pleasure and privilege of working with Coach Cox, as well as being able to call her my friend. I would like to start this dedication by thanking the numerous people and organizations for making this event possible. First, Jackie Fiore, who single-handedly got the ball rolling and never stopped. We would not be standing here if not for Jackie. She needs a, where is she? All right. Oh, she's over there. Okay. She did an amazing amount of work. Even just the setup is all Jackie. Also, the Lexington High School track team and their families for fundraising and financing this memorial bench. To Matt and Tara Stevens, head of the LHS Track Boosters, for all they do for the track program and supporting this memorial. To Melissa Petit, Peter Coleman, and the Recreation Department for their guidance and expertise on getting this through the proper channels. To the Recreation Committee and the Select Board for backing this proposal and giving us overwhelming support throughout the process. They were simply amazing. To the DPW for all their work with the installation and the upkeep that will continue to take place. Now on to the woman we are here to celebrate. And if I get emotional, go with it. Lisa George-Cox was a devoted mother, as well as a beloved educator and coach in the Lexington public school system. She was born and raised in Roxbury, Mass., a student in the MECO program. Lisa was a 1981 graduate of Lexington High School, received her undergraduate degree from Syracuse University and her graduate degree from California State University. Lisa was a 3-time Boston Globe All-Scholastic track athlete at LHS and a proud member of the inaugural Syracuse women's track and field team from 1981 to 85. At Syracuse, she distinguished herself as a Big East All-Star, Lisa still holds the record at Syracuse for the 50-meter dash, which she set in 1982. 40 years ago, she was that good. Lisa was also an honored inductee of the first class of Lexington High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Lisa came back to coach at LHS first from 1986 to 1990, and then from 2013 to 2021. She literally coached a week before her passing. During those years, the LHS track teams were extremely successful, and an integral part of that was Lisa's work with the sprinters. With Coach Cox at the helm of our sprinter group, Lexington had numerous student athletes attain Boston Globe All-Scholastic, Boston Herald All-Scholastic, and Boston Herald All-Scholastic honors. Under her guidance, LHS track athletes became All-State champions, New England champions, as well as All-Americans. Sending individuals and relays to the high school national track championships became a regular occurrence within her event group. This is to not say that Coach Cox only worked with the best. Whoever was in front of Lisa, they got the best coaching advice possible. If someone was having a difficult practice, Lisa would not hesitate to get to the bottom of why they were having a bad day. No matter what it involved, whether it was track, friends, or family, Lisa gave them the time to talk it out. Of course, at the end, Lisa usually came back with some sage advice and an embracing hug. Lisa's dedication and passion for bringing out the best in her athletes did not slow down with her August 2019 cancer diagnosis. With her treatment schedule at Dana-Farber taking precedence, Lisa still managed to find the time to coach our athletes. On the day she came to practice, she was still going strong, using a small megaphone the kids gave her so she didn't strain her voice. On the day she could not be there, she sent us detailed workouts so the kids could stay in step with what was expected of them as the season progressed. When we had meets at BU, Lisa could be found up in the bleachers, away from the germs of all the athletes walking around, taking notes on how her athletes were performing. She would still share in their successes and or figure out what may be needed to do the next time to help that person improve. At Reggie Lewis, she watched from a second floor window, doing the same thing she did at BU. At both facilities, her athletes knew where to find her, and they often did. Checking in with Coach Cox was a necessity for all our sprinters. In 2020, Lisa was honored as the recipient of the prestigious Bill O'Connor Courage and Humanitarian Award by the Mass State Track Coaches Association. This award represented how Lisa had lived and coached while overcoming adversity and hardship and put her athletes before herself. Actually, that award is right here, and I give this to Alex. You're welcome. Just so you know, this is our new LHS coaching staff member right here. She just got hired. Almost done. One of Lisa's favorite sayings when she was challenging her athletes during a workout was, "Hate me now, love me later." I sincerely doubt if anyone ever hated Coach Cox, but I know for a fact that there are hundreds of her former runners out there that will love her forever. This bench is dedicated in her honor. It is located in this specific location, as this was Lisa's spot. At an indoor or outdoor meet, this is where you'd find her, cheering on all the runners as they made their final turn. May this bench inspire every runner as they see it on their run to dig deep and push themselves to be the best that they can be, and more importantly, to know that Coach Cox is still watching over them and cheering them on. Thank you. You want this?
Yeah.
Let me give you this thing. Just put it on your head. You're welcome. I had to learn this too.
Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for coming out to support my mom and her legacy. Her passion and love for track and field was evident throughout her years as a student athlete at Lexington and later on as a coach here. She was such a positive and powerful presence on and off the track. She led her workouts with encouraging words and a bit of tough love and made sure every single one of her athletes was warm and ready before they stepped in their blocks. Even while running, her athletes wouldn't see her watching their races, but they would always hear her. She was always there to love and support her athletes, colleagues, family, and friends, no matter what the circumstance. She made herself available to the people she cared for and never asked for anything in return, all while raising 2 crazy kids at home. She inspired this community and truly embodied what Lexington Track and Field is all about. Love, community, hard work, and dedication to such a rewarding sport. She was truly my inspiration and one of my main reasons for joining the track team in high school. She continues to be my inspiration for when I join the coaching staff this indoor season, which I'm very excited to do. The support and love for her tonight is evident, and I'm positive she'd be tearing up with me and appreciating every second of it. So thank you all so much for coming. It is very, very appreciated. Thank you.
If you stand next to me,
Do you want to?
yeah, I just take the head step, but I don't think I need that. I'll just stand next to you.
Oh, this, sure.
If she stands next to me, how's that, right? Thank you all so much for coming. I'd like to talk about a couple other dimensions in Coach Cox's life that I think you might appreciate. But I first wanted to begin by thanking you all for coming and showing all the love and support that you provided Lisa during her 19-month fight with cancer. Every gesture, big and small, was meaningful to her. That's who she was. She cared and she felt things deeply. She would be moved to tears by just the turnout here. In your program, you will see a list of some extraordinary folks who made this evening possible. Our family thanks you all for the effort, compassion, and sensitivity you brought to the process and bringing this all to fruition. If I don't have these notes, I'd be torn up here. The space here at the track, the center track in general and beyond, was a happy place for Lisa. When she was in elementary and middle school as a student at Maria Hastings and later Clark, the track surface was actually loose cinder. She would often, comment that when she would win her races, she would literally leave the competition in the dust. That would include the boys, myself included. Despite all the success she experienced as a student athlete and coach in this setting, what resonated most with her, however, in our talks, were the town field days held in her youth. This track, the infield, the adjacent fields, would be the setting for that glorious day when all the youth athletes in Lexington would come together for fun and games. Lisa would, of course, earn her several blue ribbons, but it was the experience of connecting with classmates and their families that she valued the most. The relationships she worked so hard to foster then would become lifelong and inform her choice to become an educator and coach here in town. Lisa was grateful for the METCO program, which made these experiences possible. For the uninitiated, METCO is a busing program that connects Boston residents to educational opportunities in other school districts. The aim is to provide students in participating school districts and those commuting from Boston the advantages of learning in a racially and ethnically diverse setting that more closely reflects the world that they would soon inhabit after graduation. Lexington was one of the 8 founding school districts, and METCO students have been contributing to the vibrancy of the Lexington community for now 55 years. It's hard to imagine that anyone embodied the spirit of the early mission of mutually benefiting integration than Lisa's lived experience as a student athlete, an educator, a coach, and a Lexington parent. Lisa cherished the lifelong friendships she forged in the process, and she was always energized by her work with LHS student athletes and derived so much joy when the guidance she provided and the advice that she dispensed was met by the commitment of her athletes and led to their personal growth. Nothing excited her more than when a runner achieved their personal best. One of the best pieces of advice that Lisa gave me as a parent, and Alex can attest to this, was less is more. In other words, I should do a little less talking, so I'm going to do my best to wrap it up now. So though when it came to her relationships with the Lexington track and field community, the dictum was more is more. That is, she never felt that she could give enough to the program that had given her so much. Up until the time Lisa went to hospice, as Emmett alluded to, she was attempting to deliver track workouts to the coaching staff to help instruct her group of sprinters. I'm reminded that one of the songs on her treatment day playlist, when she was feeling hopeful and buoyant, was that song back in the day by the New Radicals, You Get What You Give. We don't have a license agreement to play the song tonight, but check it out when you need to be uplifted and your dreams feel too distant to come true. Mostly it's a call to action reminding us of our innate talents and our responsibility to find our voice and give them expression. Whether it was working with children with learning differences, her track athletes, or her children, Lisa thrived on helping others discover their innate talents and coached with the whole person in mind. In closing, seriously, in her work as a special ed teacher, Lisa was a staunch advocate for the underdog and would often remind us of the importance of trying to make this world work a little better for more folks. Our family will continue to follow her lead and be of service. We hope she has inspired you as well to find a way to make your impact and to uplift those that you come in contact with. We wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and for those of you that are about to embark on the 21-22 indoor track season, we wish you every success and the best, and I think it's fair to say that she has so much love for all of you, and it's just that no words can kind of express the commitment to turn out for her tonight. So thank you so much, deeply appreciate it, and you guys all stay well.